Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. Today we're going to go over another lesson in trading, divergences. Divergences are my favorite thing to trade other than blue line to blue line, which we covered in yesterday's video. Be sure to check that out. We'll go over a little bit of that video today and show you some divergences that occurred within that range though. So first of all, what is a divergence? A divergence is when you have a particular indicator, and I'll show you which one I prefer, and it has a deviation in momentum over the actual price action. Now, what does that mean? So let's take a look here. I'm on the daily Bitcoin on the daily time frame. This is actually current price action. Now, with divergences, which I'll get into in a second, the higher the time frame, usually the stronger the move, but you'll typically find that divergences begin on lower time frames and then bleed over into higher time frames. So first thing is first, you see candles here. This candle right here, for example, this little thin part right there is called a wick, and the thicker part here is called a body. So you get the candle body and the candle wick. Divergences, no matter what people tell you, go by candle body closes. So the easiest way to determine candle body closes, you don't have to worry about candle body closes, is to switch your candles. Right here I have standard candles on. Switch them to line chart. Boom. See, it takes all the wicks out. What you're seeing here is where each candle closed. So it's much easier to identify divergences because we go by the close, not the wick. A lot of people try to front run them on wicks and they get burned. Yeah, sure, you'll hit a few of these every now and then and you'll get some big trades going off wicks, but far more success if you can go by the candle body close. So look, this is on the daily, and we're not going to have a lot of proof here that this is going to play out because it's current price action. But a divergence, for example, candle price, let's go back to regular candles. Boom, these are our candles, green and red candles, and out of line. So right here, Bitcoin closed this day right here, approximately 109K. And that was on September the 25th. Well, on October the 17th, it closed right here at about 106K. So price closed lower on October 17th than it did on September 25th, right? But let's look at our market cipher being momentum waves here. And you can see the momentum for those 2 dates. So price, I'm going to draw a line here. Price trended down. Momentum trended up. See momentum trending up. You even got a double drive of divergence back here if you take it off of this candle body close back here. So price momentum is trending up while price is trending down. That's called a bullish divergence, and that's generally going to indicate a price move to the upside, just like that. Okay. Now you don't have to have divergence in order for you to get a move to the upside, but it just helps. This is on the daily time frame, so by the time you get to a daily move, you may have missed part of this move. So we typically are going to trend down and watch things on a smaller time frame. I like to use my divergence on the 4 hour or larger for my larger moves, my larger trades. Let's see what this one looks like on the 4 hour. And I'm doing this as I go. I have not prepared this in advance, so we're looking at this together. Now let's see. We're looking at that same move, and here we go. September 25th. Yeah, we can see a divergence here, bullish divergence here. On the 4 hour, this would give you an ability to front run this move. So we're all the way over to the 17th of October. So you see this on the 4 hour, trending down in price, trending up in momentum. So we have a bullish divergence here. You actually got another drive of it right here that I'm looking at, a little more local divergence. Boom, trending down, and you can see the green line here on market cipher. They have already identified your bullish divergence here and connected the dots for you. So this would tell you when market cipher identifies a bullish divergence or bearish divergence, which we'll go over in identifies it with this green line connecting the two. Once you get this green dot, that means it is time to enter your trade. So you got this green dot along with your green line here. So you have a bullish divergence. Green dot means your VWAP is crossing the zero line. That is a good place to enter this trade. And so far on this trade, Bitcoin has gone up almost 10%. So pretty dang good trade there. It's up about $10,000. If you remember from our video yesterday, if you are doing trades of dollar for dollar on Bitcoin, and that depends on your leverage and your margin, we'll discuss in later videos. But dollar for dollar, you've already made 10 grand on this move. And that's just since the 17th. So that's just in the last 10 days. Okay, so this is the chart we were looking at yesterday. As you can see on the candle graph, this is what it looks like. We're on the line graph, so we're looking back and refer to yesterday's video so we can see how we identified divergences here and we're able to capitalize on some of these moves. First of all, we were trading blue line to blue line, taking profit at the red line if you remember correctly. But how could we know that these are good trades in advance? Well, first of all, you're coming down to support lines, so you're looking for a bounce anyway. When it hits the blue line, value area low, you're looking for support. Value area high, you're looking for resistance. So let's see if we can identify some areas here. And again, I'm just going through this at the same time as you are right now, so we're figuring it out together. All right, so it looks like, let's start with our bullish divergences first. So these are pretty easy to see. You've got price trending down. While down here at the blue, you see market cipher B on the momentum has already identified it with the green lines. Price is trending up. Bullish divergence. Boom. What did you get right here? Bam. At the green dot, you got a $10,400 move to the upside. Almost a 20% move to the upside. That is big, big dollars. And you wouldn't have even stopped here. You would have come back down because this one came back down. You'd have rode it back and got a much larger move of almost $17,000, $16,000 to the upside. So we're looking for these divergences. They're very powerful indicators. And this is on the daily. Let's swap down to the 4-hour and see what happened on the 4-hour so we can know if we're entering a good trade or not. Scroll over, find this. Here we go. All right, let's see what was happening on the 4-hour with these. Sorry, trading views run a little bit slow right now. There's a lot of price action, a lot of volatility going right now, so trading view is probably overcrowded. Yeah, you can see the same thing. I mean, if you get the bullish divergence on the daily, then it's definitely almost always going to show up on the smaller time frames. You've got it all over the place here. Bullish divergence connected all over the place. You see these green lines here. Bullish divergence, boom, big move to the upside. There's the green line on the bottom, momentum. Price trending down here, boom, big move to the upside. Where do you enter? You enter on that green dot with the green line here at the bottom on your indicator. Price moves to the upside. Where does it find resistance? Right here at the value area high, right here at our top blue line. That's where it finds resistance. Let's clear some of this off of here. All right, so those are bullish divergences. Let's look at some bearish divergences. This is a really good example here. So when price came up to our blue line that I just showed you with the bullish divergence, we're looking for areas to short now because we're coming near our area of resistance, our value area high. And as you can see here, as we come into this, we've got price coming up. Boom, price is making higher highs while momentum is making lower lows. So as soon as you get that red dot right there, you got your bearish divergence. Actually, it looks like you got it right here. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger for you to see a little bit better. You got your red lines. See your red lines connecting here? That is market cipher identifying the bearish divergence. You get the red dot right here. You enter, boom, for a nice little short trade right there. This one came all the way down. Actually fell through the blue line, so you'd got a little more out of that trade if you stayed in it. But either way, this is a great trade. Bearish divergence played out perfectly. And on the flip side of this, sorry, it's a little more difficult to see here on the 4 hours, a lot more price action. But on the flip side, so we caught our bearish divergence here. I know I'm flipping back and forth a little bit. We caught our bearish divergence right down in here into this low. And what did it make? We already identified on the daily. We made, and we'll see it right here on the 4 hour as well. We had lower lows and price action. Where right here we had higher lows on our momentum waves. So a bullish divergence. So you rode a bearish divergence wave down right into a bullish divergence on the way back up. Easy trades, easy 2 trades to enter. I hope this explains bullish momentum for you through divergence and bearish momentum through divergence. We can go all the way down to the 1 minute time frame, find divergences so you can get that nitpicky perfect entry, but it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, you'll find many divergences on the low time frames and they just yield really small results. So you want to stick to these higher divergences. You're going to make plenty. It's okay if you only make 80% of the move. That's okay. Don't get greedy. The people that try to make 100% of the move typically lose because they're entering and losing more trades. Stick with the higher time frames, the 4 hour and up, and you'll find a lot of success. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, notification bell turned on. Leave me any comments if there's anything you want to see or anything you want me to shoot a video on. Leave me in the comments section below, and I'll be sure to get to them for you.